Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at the 2 to 6 player game Wonderland Fluxx, published by Looney Labs Games. So let's go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to play Fluxx and a couple of things that are with this special edition of Fluxx, and we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Wonderland Fluxx. Now, Wonderland Fluxx is going to be a Wonderland-themed game version of Fluxx. So the basic idea of Fluxx, if you ever played it, you could just jump right into this. What you're going to do is, in the game of Fluxx, you follow basically these rules that are laid out here, which are going to be in Fluxx. But to start, you're going to draw one, play one on your turn. To start out, which it says up here, each player is going to be dealt 3 cards. And the goal of the game is basically you're going to have these goals, and you're trying to, with the one that actively out on the board, match the pictures here and with these keepers. And if you do, you win the game automatically, instantaneously. So, and it doesn't even have to be your turn. So you have to watch out for that. You don't want to put a goal out that matches what someone else has. But like I said, on your turn, you're going to play one card. So in this case, I'll play the keeper. Actually, I drew one and played one, sorry. I got another goal. So it's going to go round and around the table until someone matches whatever goal it's out with the keepers that they have. They win the game. Now, every version of Fluxx has some pretty cool cards that are unique to it. And some versions of Fluxx, including this one, have keepers. Now, creepers, sorry. Now, what creepers do is as soon as they're drawn, even on the first turn, they come out. And they come out in front of you and they do bad things. And like it says right here, place immediately and redraw. So once you place a creeper out, you redraw. And it does something bad. Like during your turn, you can move this card to another player if you discard one of your keepers. You cannot win if you have this creeper. So this guy here, you're going to feed the Jabberwocky and move him on. So you can lose one of your keepers to do it and give it to another player to worry about. These cards here are your new rule cards. When you play these guys, they actually will produce a new rule for the game. And in this case, this one is play 3. And every time you place new rule cards, so like this one here makes you have a hand limit too, you can place them over top of each other like this, because the little bar up here is all you really need to have visible to see what the rules are. If you reshuffle this deck, you're going to add +1 to basically drawing and playing. So you'll draw an extra card and play an extra card to speed up the game a little bit. There's also these action cards, and they do different things. And like I said, a lot of these can be actually themed for this. They all have art that's themed, but some of these are specifically themed, and some of these are like your standard Fluxx cards. You can play these cards, and when you do whatever they say. You also have surprise cards. Let's see if in this set, lots of new rules, lots of new keepers. Action, I should find a surprise card in here somewhere. There's a couple. Action. 1 second, let me see if I can find a surprise. And surprise cards, you can use them sort of like reaction and stuff too, so they're pretty nice. I know they have, there's at least, yeah, here we go. So these surprise cards you can play out of turn. Like you can't play any of the other cards out of turn, but you can play the surprise cards out of turn. And like this one's canceled plans. This one's here, stop that. So you can also play out of turn, and during your turn, all other players must discard one action card or a card at random from their hand. So you can do something really cool. That's mine. This one's steal another player's keeper and put it in front of you. So you could use that just to like immediately end the game, which is pretty fun. So there's a couple surprise cards on here. I believe the only creeper that's in the Wonderland version is the Jabberwocky, and that guy pretty much just stays out and causes havoc. And I do like versions of Fluxx that have the creepers, and I like the surprise cards too. Not all versions of Fluxx have creepers, so this is really nice. But that is basically how you're going to play Fluxx and some of the stuff that you'll get with the Wonderland version. Let's go ahead back up the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I like Wonderland Fluxx. It's a good version of Fluxx. It has all the stuff that good versions of Fluxx have. They have some interactive creepers in there. They have some surprise cards. Also, the theme in this is pretty well done in the cards themselves too. It's going to be the literary theme to the game, which I like. So you could tell just by from the art style itself that it's going to be the literary style. I really like that they had the Jabberwocky in it. That's fun too, to have to be able to pass that around, and it eats keepers on there. Overall, a good version of Fluxx. Very easy to teach if you played the base game of Fluxx. If you're not used to creepers, there's only one creeper in here, so pretty easy to teach that one, and you can pull it out and show people what it does and stuff before they start the game. Fluxx is a fun card game in general, and this is a really nice theme on it. If you like Alice in Wonderland and you like that theme, I would highly recommend picking up this version of Fluxx. If you don't, it's still playable, so it's still Fluxx and it's still fun. So if you don't mind it, you may want to check this one out too. So that's my thoughts on Wonderland Fluxx. Thank you for watching.